Every species here spent eons perfectly adapting to Earth. Fish got gills for the ocean. Birds scored hollow bones for flight. Polar bears wear thick coats for the cold. Then there's humanity. We fry in our own sunshine, and our backs are constantly aching. Human childbirth is incredibly hazardous, claiming more lives than any other mammal's birth. We alone look around and realize, this feels wrong. What if we don't fit in because we aren't locals? Lizards sunbathe for hours. Dogs, cats, and horses, even elephants handle UV rays effortlessly. Their fur and scales are perfectly tuned for our local star. Ours aren't. We invented chemical creams just to safely step outside. Let that sink in. We need sunscreen because sunlight is our daily nemesis. 80% of us get chronic back pain at some point. When 4 in 5 folks share a structural flaw, you stop blaming posture and question the blueprint. Our spines are basically horizontal bridges, awkwardly forced upright by evolution. Gravity crushes our spinal discs in ways they weren't designed for. Kangaroos and ostriches skip this drama. They were built to stand tall. We just got a sloppy retrofit. Our birthing process is the riskiest among all earthly mammals. Infant heads are so massive, they barely make it out. Pre-medicine, this natural act was incredibly fatal for mothers. No other creature risks so much just to reproduce. That's our quirk. Horses finish labor in 30 minutes. Foals walk within an hour. Our babies can't even lift their heads. We arrive adorably useless. We're the most helpless infants to ever grace this blue marble. Then consider allergies. Your immune system's sole job is defense, yet ours often declares war. On totally harmless stuff: pollen, peanuts, dust, kitties, and shrimp. Nearly 30% of us are allergic. Our inner bodyguards attack our air and snacks. Either evolution blundered badly, or you're calibrated for another world. The weirdest glitch is mental. No other beast anticipates its end. Dogs don't dread the afterlife. Dolphins skip existential dread. Elephants don't invent faiths to soothe mortality fears. We uniquely bear the heavy knowledge of our own expiration date. Instead of accepting it, We've spent history fighting it. We construct temples, draft philosophies, and build societies. Obsessing over one question: what's next? Why would nature curse us? Seriously, how does existential panic aid survival? Historically speaking, this anxiety sparks despair, chaos, and conflict. It feels like a bug in a species that's totally displaced. Smart enough to feel the glitch, but clueless about the cause. Now, for the biggest red flag. Every earthly organism lives in harmony with its habitat. Hunters balance the herds. Herds trim the flora. Bugs recycle the waste. It's a perfect team player loop. Not us. We flatten forests, pollute waters, and pump gases that bake our home. We've erased thousands of species with zero signs of stopping. We aren't joining the ecosystem. We're dismantling it. This is classic behavior of an invasive species. Dropped onto a foreign rock. We ignore the rules. Simply because they weren't written for us. If we aren't earthlings, where are we from? In Meteorites, Francis Crick dropped a research paper that should have rattled science. This Ijuluar Nobel laureate cracked the very code of life's instruction manual. He's an absolute titan of modern science. In that PhD essay with chemist Leslie Orgel, he pitched a wild theory. Directed Panspermia. The notion that life didn't begin here. Instead, it was purposely planted by alien intellects from across the galaxy. The DNA decoder analyzed Earth life and noted, the math isn't mathing. Honestly, his supporting evidence is compelling. Life debuted roughly 3.8 billion years ago. Earth itself is just 4.5 billion years old. Complex organics sprouted nearly 700 million years post-formation. Geologically, that's a blink. Asteroids were still bombarding us. We were a cooling, toxic, molten hellscape. Yet, life sparked the very nanosecond it could. Biologists find this haste highly suspicious. Meet the Murchison meteorite. In Lyozo, this space rock smacked into Australia. Cracking it open, scientists found 90+ amino acids. The literal Lego bricks of life. Some perfectly match the ones in our own biology. Just space-surfing organic chemistry. Here's the kicker. We know life survives the void. Take tardigrades, those tiny, 8-legged gummy bears. They've braved the space vacuum and cosmic rays. They survived near absolute zero. In 2019, a lunar probe carrying them crashed, and they might still be kicking.